ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं नारायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम् प्राणो वा आशाया भूयान् यथा वा अरानाभौ समर्पिताः एवं अस्मिन् प्राणे सर्वं समर्पितम्। प्राणः प्राणेन याति प्राणः प्राणं ददाति प्राणाय ददाति प्राणो ह पिता प्राणो माता प्राणो भ्राता प्राणस्वसा प्राण आचार्यः प्राणो ब्राह्मणः प्राणो वै आशायाः भूयान्। Prana, the vital force or the vital air, is it bhuyan is greater than ashayaha, greater than asha or hope or expectation. Why is it so? Because evam sarvam prane samarpitam. Because the entire universe is samarpitam, is inserted in, fixed on prana. The entire universe is sustained by prana. The entire universe is set in motion by prana. The universe moves. It's dynamic, constantly in motion. The dynamism, the motion is provided by prana, the vital air. So just as the vital air at the individual level provides the motion, the dynamism to the individual body-mind complex, so also the cosmic prana, the cosmic dynamic force provides the motion, the dynamism to the entire universe. Namopakramam Ashantam. The universe beginning from Nama, the name, ending with Asha, the hope. Karikaranattvena nimitta nimittaktvena cha uttarottara bhuyastaya avasthitam. How the universe is created. Avasthitam, it obtains as what? Uttarottara bhuyastaya. The characteristic of the universe is that one thing is superior to the other, one thing is greater than the other. Everything that follows is greater than what precedes. In what sense? So, nimitta, nimittakattvena. The nimitta is greater than naimitta. Nimitta, the cause, the source. Naimittika, the effect or the product. Or karikaranattvena. So either something is nimitta, the reason for something else to be there, or karan, the cause for something to be there. Like the clay is the cause for the pot to be there. Similarly, the things and beings of the universe are interconnected with one another by the cause and effect relationship. Or nimitta naimittika. One is the efficient cause, the intelligent cause, other is the, so one is the producer, other is the product. So nimitta is one that creates. Naimittika is what is created. So creator created the material cause and the effect. So this is how everything in the universe is connected, of which few examples are given here. So nama, vak, manaha, sankalpa, in this manner. So many illustrations were given to illustrate how the entire universe is thus interconnected, interwoven. Asha rashana pashayi vipashidam. So what holds everything together is the rashana. The rope of asha, or the hope, or the expectation, or desire is what holds everything together. So even karya karana also is what connects everything. So nimitta naimittika, the creator and the created, the cause and the effect, the product and the source, the material and the product. So this is also the interlinking chain. So it's a very beautiful way of looking at the whole universe. In different places, Shruti shows it in different way. Like in the Madhu Brahmana says that all these beings are the Madhu, the Prithvi is the Madhu for all the beings. All the beings are Madhu for the Prithvi. So Prithvi is there because of the karma of all the beings. In turn, the Prithvi sustains all the beings. So thus everything is nimitta, naimittika, karya, karana, that's how everything is interconnected. And therefore they are not different. The point is what is interconnected in this manner, they have a common cause. All of these are the common cause, ultimate in Brahman of course. At this point, the common cause is prana. So, yasmin prane sarvatah visamiva tantuvihi. Just as the stem of a lotus is sustained by these fibers, so they are all interconnected. So also, the whole universe also is held together by the fiber of asha or hope or cause and effect. Hope also is there, the cause and effect also is there. The Creator created, this is how it is held together. Yena cha sarvato vyapyana अंतर्बहिर्गतेन सूत्रे मणिगणाः एव सूत्रेण ग्रथितं विधृतं च. Another way. Another way, sutre maniganaha eva. Just as the pearls are strung in a thread. So will also sutrena grathitam vidrutam cha. So the whole universe is strung together by the sutra. Vidrutam held together. So strung into and held together by the prana. So prana is the sutra, the thread in which the entire universe is strung. It's held together. Yenacha sarvato vyapana antarbahirgatena. Prana pervades everything outwardly and inwardly, externally and internally. Sesha prana vai ashaya bhuyan. Prana such as that, the vital energy such as that is bhuyan, greater than asha or the hope. Kathamasya bhuyastvam. In what way do you say that the prana, the vital air, vital force, is greater than asha, greater than hope? Idyaha drishtantena. Shruti herself gives a drishtanta illustration. Tad bhuyastvam samarthayan. Thus, confirming the bhuyastvam, the greatness of prana as compared to everything else, Shruti explains that with a drishtanta, with an illustration. Yatha ve loke ratha chakrasya raha rathanavo samavitaha samprutaha sampraveshitaha ityetad. Just as in our day-to-day life, how araha, the spokes of a wheel, are samarpitaha, samprutaha, inserted in the hub, fixed into the hub, inserted into the hub, held by the hub, supported by the hub. Evam asmin linga sanghadaravya prane. Similarly also this prana, the vital air, with sanghada, samudaya, the totality of all the subtle bodies. Prajnatmani, which is of the nature of prajna or consciousness, being the upadhi of consciousness. So prana is closest to the consciousness, closest to the self. And there it is the upadhi. You can call it prana is the costume that the self wears. Prana is the limiting agent of the self. Therefore, the prana and the self are here equated, they are the same. So that's how upadhi tadvatoho aikyam abhipretya. Like an actor and its costume, both are made to be equal. Like the beggar is the same as the actor. So prana really is a costume. The universal costume that prajna or the consciousness in fact, sustains, wears. But upadhi tadvatoho aikyam abhipretya. In the Kaushitaki Upanishad, both of them are looked upon the same because prana leads to the consciousness. Just as a costume leads to the actor, so also the prana ultimately being closest to the consciousness leads to the consciousness. So prana, prajnatmani. If you interpret prajna as consciousness, if you interpret prajna as intellect, then the Tikakara said, Ekameva buddhi tattvam kriya shakti pradhanyena prana heti jnana shakti pradhan buddhi heti vyavakriyate. Ekameva buddhi tattvam, one entity called buddhi or called prajna. That buddhi alone has these two aspects. Kriya Shakti Pradhanyana. So buddhi alone in fact possesses the power to act. And buddhi alone possesses power to, buddhi or call it antahkarana. Antahkaranam, but the mind, in mind only prompts the prana to act. Mind only prompts the sense organs to know. So there were prana and prajna. So Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. The power to act and the power to know, both of them are here equated because both of them have the same source. In what way do you say that prana is the upadhivatma? Because yasmin para devata namarupa vyakaranaya anupravishta. So anena jivena atmana anupravishya namarupe vyakarvani. So this is all. Swayam devata aikshata hantaham imaha tisro devataha. These three devatas of the nature of the fire, water and earth, I will enter them as their own self for the manifestation of names and forms. So that is how Devata or Paramatma has entered this prana. So therefore prana is a costume of the upadhi of the self or of Brahman. How has it entered? Adarshado Pratibhimbhavata. Just as sun may enter the pool of reflecting water or my face may enter the mirror, in that manner consciousness or Atma has entered this prana. Now continuing on the page 322. In the 13th line, says Anandagiri, Tasmin sarvam samarpitamiti purvat sambandha. In prana, such as that, everything is fixed, everything is joined, connected, inserted. Then says Anandagiri, Kimiri Chakshuradishu vidyamaneshu mukhyasya pranasya Paramatma upadhitum upagatamiti asankyaha. Why do you call Mukhya Prana as the upadhi of Paramatma? When Chakshuradishu Vidyamaneshu, there are these organs of perception which are very much there. So aren't the organs of perception or the means of knowledge, are they not the upadhi of Paramatma? The Jnana Shakti or the means of Jnana or knowledge, are they not closer to Paramatma than this Kriya Shakti or the means of action? So are they not closer? So Bhashyakara Yaschayati, how prana is closest to the Paramatma. What the other Tikakara says in the line 26, Tatreva hetvantaram darshayitum Visheshantaramaha. It should be yaschayiti, not yastviti, but yaschayiti. Maybe that tika yastu, maybe the reading there, maybe yascha. Tatreva hetvantaram darshayintum. So now this Tikakara looks at it in a different way. Naradasya tatreva pratyatmatva brahmane hetum darshayam. How come says Narada looked upon? So prana is pratyekatma because prana is upadhi. Yet other reason why Narada means anybody takes prana as the Atma, one suffers from this delusion and takes the prana to be Atma. Why is it so? Because it is closest to the Atma. It is the only visible entity. Then visible entity closest to the Atma is prana. Therefore, people take it to be Atma. So Bhashyakara explains, Yascha Maharajasya iva sarvadhikari Ishvarasya. So sometimes you do not know the king because his minister alone is visible. He alone does everything for the king. However, sometimes that minister may be mistaken to be the king. Ishvarasya sarvadhikari. So just as a minister or an officer of a king does everything on behalf of king, so also prana does everything for Ishvara. For the self, prana does everything. Pranasya Ishvaram prati sarvadhikaratve shrutyantaram pramanayati. How do you say that prana is the sarvadhikari? He is the all-in-all officer for all the, what do you call it? The power of attorney. He is an attorney. The power of attorney is given to him for everything. On what basis do you say that? He is the one who is whole and soul for Ishvara. On what basis do you say that? Shrutyantaram pramanayati. Bhashyakara quotes from the Prashnopanishad here. Sraho prana is a whole and soul. So says Bhashyakara, Kasminnu aham utkrante utkranto bhavishyami kasmin va pratisthite pratisthāsyamiti sapranam asrujata iti shrutehe. So this is how Ishvara thought. While creating, Ishvara or Paramatma thought in this manner. So there it says, So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. In Taittiriya Upanishad, before creating the universe, Lord thought, Bahusyam, may I become many, prajaya, may I be born. So with that intention, the creation was there. In Prashnopanishad, in the beginning of creation, Ishvara thinks, Kasmin naho utkrante utkranto bhavishyamiti kasmin va pratisthite pratisthāsyamiti. So what is it when it departs that I will depart? And what is it when it stays, I will stay? In his body, so it's daihike. So Paramatma entered this body. Before entering the body, he deliberated. What is it because of which I will stay in the body? And what, when will I, so with departure of what will I depart? So when something departs from the body, it is as good as I depart. When there is that in the body, I am as good as there. Because in Paramatma there is no departure and there is no staying also. In fact, Raja does not do anything. It is Pradhanam that does everything. So Paramatma does not enter, doesn't go and doesn't do anything really. But still, what enters then I have entered. What stays then I stay. So people will think that I am staying here because of what? So when they will see this agent here, they will conclude that I am here. When the agent departs, they will conclude that I have departed. When the agent enters, they will say, I have entered. So Paramatma, who in reality does not enter and doesn't depart and therefore does not stay or only stays. So, but there is an appearance as though Paramatma has entered this body. It is departing from this body. So who is that agent who does this departure and entry, because of which people will say that I have entered, I have departed. Says the Tika in line 27, Atma Tattvasya Sharira Sambandhi उत्क्रांति स्थिति सिद्ध्यर्थम कह उपाधि ही भविष्यति। आत्म तत्वस्य शरीर संबंधी उत्क्रांति स्थिति. So Atma Tattva is sthiti as though there in this body. Utkranti, Atma Tattva as though departs from this body. Kah upadi hi bhavishyati. What will be the limiting adjunct? Upadi, the agent. So who is the agent of entering? Who is the agent of staying? Who is the agent of departing? By enter of which agent I have as though entered, by the staying of which agent I have stayed, by the departure of which agent I have departed. Iti alochya. So this is alochana. Before creation, Ishvara deliberates. Kasminam utkrante bhavishyami iti. By departure of whom will I depart? Kasminnu pratisthite va pratisthāsyami iti. By whose staying I will be staying. This is deliberation. So that's how the asha is there, the desire is there, the ikshanam is there, deliberation is there. Iti alochya pranam tatha vidam srishtavan. First alochanam is done, and then Ishvara decided that prana is the right agent. So says sah pranam asrujata. With this deliberation, Ishvara created prana. Says the Tika, Satah Swatah Aparichinnasya Tad Sambhavaditi Atharvana Shrutyartha. The Sat Ekameva Dvitiyam Swatah Aparichinnasya. Sat, existence of Brahman is what? Swatah Aparichinnam. In itself it is limitless. So limitless means all pervasive. Means that is there every already. So that alone can be limitless, which is not limited by time, or not limited by place, or not limited by vastu or thing. Which means that it must be there, already there at all the time. It must be already there at all the places. Must be already there in all the vastu. So swataha aparichinnasya tat asambhavat. So therefore there cannot be entry of Paramatma into this body. Just as the space must be already there, even when the part is created, therefore there cannot be primarily the entry of space in the part or departure of the space in the part. So space nothing, by entry of which will I have entered the part, by departure of which I would have departed from the part. It created water, so when water enters, whatever, so something. But here, so we get this idea that Atma has entered. Now Atma is, so they ask this question, Swamiji. So when the child is growing in the womb of the mother, at what point does Atma enter? That's a big debatable thing, because then only that fetus will be called live fetus. Then if you kill that fetus, then that is called violence. Until then, it's okay. So abortion can take place at what point? When can, up to what point can abortion be justified? So people who abort the child, fetus, would claim that we have not committed any violence because the fetus is lifeless. So any Christians and people say that in the 4th month, the Atma enters there. Until then it is lifeless. Which is stupid thing, there can be nothing lifeless. Nothing lifeless can become alive. What is live alone can become manifest life, that's all. Where potential life is there, there can be manifestation of life. It is possible to say that at a given point the life manifests. Not that life is created. Life cannot be created. But anyway, still, so what is the agent? So prana, the deliberated, and then this is how it created prana, the vital air. So when vital air enters this body, the body is alive. When Vaya Prana departs, the body is dead. So, the existence of the body, so therefore, people say Atma has departed. The self of the departed soul may rest in the departed soul may rest in peace. Atma always rests in peace. But still we say that because something has departed. Something which was there, because of which the body was alive. And something is no more there, because of which the body is no more alive. So what is it? That is prana. Tat pravishtatvat atmana tad upaditvat sarva vyavaharasya tatra atmatva brahma yukta ityartah. So tat pravishtatvat atmana. So atma is, so it is prana that has entered the body. Atmana upaditvacha. And prana is the upadi or the agent of the atma. Sarva vyavaharasya tatra atmatva, all vyavahara is there because the upadi, namely atma. Therefore, tatra atmatva brahma yukta. Therefore, that people may mistake prana to be atma is quite understandable. Because it is prana that enters and prana that departs. And prana carries out all the vyavahara. All walking and talking and all vyavahara is carried out by prana. Atma cannot carry out any vyavahara at all. And therefore, what carries out all the vyavahara? By presence of which the body is alive. By departure of which the body is dead. It is naturally that people take that to be Atma. So tattva, Atmatva Brahma Yukta. So this Tikakara seems to say that the Shruti explains why sage Narada or anybody else takes Atma, takes Prana to be Atma. Why? So point is that sage Narada recorded that Soham Bhagava Shochami, that I am grieving. So may the revered sir, please make me cross this ocean of grief. So why was he grieving? So what's the reason why sage Narada was grieving? Because he took prana to be Atma. Nobody takes asha to be Atma instead of prana is taken as Atma. Why? Because prana is the agent who does everything for Atma. He is the only visible entity. The visible entity. Because the Prime Minister is inside, nobody ever sees him. His agent, does everything. So those who never seen their Atma is never seen. The only one that is seen is prana. So it's quite understandable that prana itself is taken as Atma. But we think that what is life? Life is doing things. Prana doesn't do anything. Atma doesn't, prana does everything. So one that is agent of all the vyavahara is naturally taken to be Atma, and that is why sage Narada takes prana to be Atma. And prana is limited, therefore takes Atma to be limited and so forth. Then says Anandagiri, line 15, Ishwaram prati pranaseva upadigatve hetvantaram aha. So how prana is the upadi of Ishvara? One hetu is that prana is agent who performs all activities for Ishvara, and therefore is confused to be Ishvara. Other reason why prana is the upadi of Ishvara. Yastu iti. Or this Tikakara says, Sarva vyavahareshu tasya avyabhichārādavi tasmin atmatva brahma ityaha. Sarva vyavahareshu tasya avyabhichārāt. Prana is invariably there in all the vyavahara. There is no vyavahara where prana is not there. Avyabhichara. Where a vyavahara is there, prana is invariably there. Also tasmin atmat. So all along this Tikakara says why atmatva brahma is there. Because prana is there in all the vyavahara. Therefore also prana is taken to be atma. So yes too. Whereas Anandagiri says, why is prana the upadhi of atma? First of all because by its departure atma departs, by staying atma stays as though. And secondly also, second reason is yastu iti. Yastu chaya iva anugataha ishvaram. Yastu chaya iva anugataha. Like a shadow. Prana always follows Ishvara like a shadow. Atrapi Purut Anvaya, meaning prana, which is like a shadow of Atma. In that prana, the entire universe is supported, fixed, inserted with the Anvaya. Prana Chayavat Ishva Anugatsyati Shrutyantram Pramanayati. So in what way do you say that the prana always follows Ishvara or Atma like a shadow following a body? So next Shruti is interpreted by Anandagiri as explaining the Anugamanam, how prana always follows or accompanies. Just a shadow always follows or accompanies the body. So the prana always accompanies the Atma. So this following statement is looked upon in support of that. Where the other Tikakara says, however, pranasya sarvadharatve prajnatmatve shrutimaha. Seems to be better that prana is sarvadhara, adhara, the support or the locus of everything. Prajnatmatve, prana alone is prajnatma, of the nature of consciousness. For that, the next statement from Kaushitaki Upanishad. Tadyatha, the Bhashyakara says, Tadyatha rathasya areshu nemihi arpitaha nabho araha arpitaha evameva eta bhutamatraha prajnamatrasu arpitaha prajnamatraha prane arpitaha. Tadyatha, yatha means the illustration. Rathasya areshu nemi arpitaha. So look at the line number 30. Nemir nama chakrasya bhumi sthitam phalakam. Name is a rim. So rim is that which actually contacts the ground or the earth. So in the chariot, what is that is in contact with the ground? The nemi, the rim of the wheel. So Nemir Nama Chakrasya Bhumi Sthitam Phalakam. So that is on the ground. Then Bhutamatra Sabdena. So now we can see how that rim is there because of the spokes and spokes are there because of the hub. So rim is connected to the spokes and spokes are connected to the hub. Similarly, Upanishad says that tadyatha rathasya areshu nemi arpitaha. So just as the nemi or the rim is arpitaha, is sustained by the areshu, by the spokes. The rim is sustained or supported by the spokes. Nabho araha arpitaha. The spokes are again fixed to the nabhi or the hub. So rim with the spokes and spokes with the hub. That's how the rim is ultimately held by the hub. Immediately it may look as though the rim is sustained by the spokes. The spokes themselves are sustained by the hub. And therefore the hub ultimately sustains the rim. So prana is the hub. Evameva etaha bhutamatra prajnamatrasu arpitaha. So it's bhutamatra. What is bhutamatra? Says the Tika, bhutamatra shabdena. Matra means amsha. Bhutanam amsha bhuta shabdadev vishaya uchyante. Bhuta means panchamahabhuta. Matra means amsha or a fraction. So what are these sense objects? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. All of these are the fractions of the five elements. Element space alone manifests the shabda and then vayu, sparsha and so forth. So, shabdadeo vishaha bhutamatra. Those which are the fractions of the five elements, the five sense objects, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha are called bhutamatra. So these sense objects are sustained by what? Prajnamatra shabdena jnanendriyani shrotraadini cha. So bhutamatraha prajnamatrasu arpitaha. Prajna means knowledge. In short, the sense objects are sustained by the knowledge. So sense objects are there provided their knowledge is there. So how do you know that sound is? Only when the organ of perception, organ of hearing perceives the sound, then only you know that sound is. How do you know that color is? Only when the eyes perceive them that the color is. So you can say that the sense objects are totally dependent upon the sense perception or organs of perception. In that sense it is said, bhutamatra prajnamatrasu arpitaha. What is prajnamatra? Prajnamatra shabdena jnanendriyani shrotrani. Because prajna means knowledge. And the organs of perception are the means of knowledge. So every organ of perception can be looked upon as a fraction of knowledge. So object can be looked upon as the fraction of the five elements. The sense organs can be looked upon as the fraction of knowledge. So those objects, shabda, sparsha, depend upon the organs of perception, such as the ears, touch, etc., for their being there, for their usefulness. The shabda, sparsha would have no purpose to serve if the organs of perception were not there. If the ears were not there, what need would there be of shabda? If the organ of touch is not there, what would the sparsha do? If the eyes are not there, what would the color and forms do? If the palate is not there, what would the taste? So we don't even know if there are more than five objects in the world. We don't know. We only have the five organs of perception, therefore we can only perceive the five objects. Even if sixth object is there, we cannot perceive that. So we say there are only five organs of perception. Why do you say? No, five objects of experience. Why? Because organs of perception perceive them. Meaning the objects are totally dependent upon or fixed on the organs of perception. So, bhutamatra, prajnamatra, arpitaha. Very beautiful way of showing how you can say that the objects are created by the perception. It is the organ of hearing that creates sound, you can say. Organ of touch creates the touch. Eyes create the color. Palate creates the taste. Nose creates the smell. Because without nose, smell would never have been experienced. So smell can be experienced only when nose is there. So nose and smell always go together. So they cannot be two. Therefore, the smell is a product of nose. So Kaushitaki explains creation in this manner. Creation on one hand, and then also the dissolution also in the reverse way. That's how dissolution is explained. The pralaya is explained how the sense objects are all because of sense organs, and sense organs are there because of prana. The prana provides a vital energy. Only when the organ of hearing has the vital energy, then they can hear, otherwise they can't hear. The eyes cannot see unless prana provides the energy to the eyes. So ultimately all organs function because of prana. Therefore, we can say prana creates the organs, or organs are all dependent upon or fixed upon prana. So it is said, prajnamatra prana arpitaha. All prajnamatra, all the organs of perception or knowledge, all organs of knowledge ultimately are arpitaha, fixed into the dynamic energy. So Kriya Shakti, prana is the primary principle according to this. See the Tika, Yatha Areshu Nemihi Arpita. So just as the name of the rim is sustained by the spokes, Tatha Shabdadaya Shrotrarishu Arpitaha. Similarly, Shabdas, Sparsh, etc., they are all sustained by the respective organs of perception. Meaning what? Teshu grahyatvena vartante. The sense objects, they obtain as grahya means perceived. So the sense objects are perceived by the sense perception. So that's the status of sense objects. That they are there as perceived things. They don't have independent status. The status is they are experienced. They are perceived. And the perceivers are the organs of perception. So the perceived is dependent upon the perceiver, isn't it? The perceived is dependent on perceiver. The existence of perceived is established only when a perceiver is there. The thing is that the existence of anything can be established only when there is a witness. That something happened can be proven only if there is a witness of that. That's why these days there are CCTV cameras. So witness in the form of the person is not there, camera is there. So some fellows carried out theft in some ATM, but then they were all, the cameras were there, so the pictures appeared on them. Recently our Renu from United States said there was a theft in the temple. But there was a theft a month ago. After that, they were warned, so they installed the CCTV camera afterwards, securities. So next time when the theft took place, they were all pictured, very clear. Those cameras are very clear. You could see, she sent the picture. You can see their faces very clearly. Here in our camera, still, it's difficult to see it clearly. But there you could see. Next day they were caught. So that is a witness. That they carried out the theft is proven by the witness in the form of the camera. Only when the witness is there that the existence of something can be established. In that sense, the organs of perceptions are like the witnesses, because of which the objects of perception existence is established. So, teshu grahyatvena vartante. They are all grahya, perceived. The senses are perceivers. So they are dependent. So you can say they are fixed, dependent. Araha nabhoyeva shrotradaya prajnamatra sabdita prana arpitaha. And further, just as the spokes are fixed or inserted into the hub, so also the organs of perception in turn are also fixed into prana. Why? Tat paratantraha. If prana is strong, the organs of perception are strong, prana is weak, hearing is weak, seeing is weak, everything is weak. Tat paratantraha. So these prajna matraha, the organs of perception, are paratantraha, they are dependent upon the prana. And again, the sense objects are dependent upon the prajna matra, the organs of perception. They in turn are dependent on prana. So prana sustains everything. So objects are sustained by the organs of perception. And they in turn are sustained by prana. That's how everything is sustained. So very beautifully explained by Kausalya Upanishad. How the whole universe is sustained by prana. It is fixed on the prana, inserted into prana. Anandagiri says, Bhut matraha shabdadaha prithivendayasya vishayaha. So he adds one more thing. Bhut matraha shabdadaha. So shabda, sparsha, they are the bhut matras. And prithivendayasya, even 5 elements also are bhut matras, and objects also are included in bhut matras. Prajna matrasu shabdadi buddhishu तज्जनक इंद्रियेषु वा इत्यर्थः. And prajna matra are the sense organs of perception or the actual perception. So, shabdadi buddhi. What is shabdadi buddhi? Shabda buddhi means what? The perception of shabda. Like ghata buddhi means what? Ghatakara vritti is called ghata buddhi. So, chakshushi vritti, shravani vritti. So, vritti of the cognition that takes place is called Shabda Buddhi. And cognition that takes place because of the perception in eyes is called the Chakshu Buddhi. So, alright. So, says Bhaututasam Prane Arpitatvam. Alright. So, now we can see how the 5 elements and the objects and the organs of perception and the cognitions, all of them are arpitaha, inserted, fixed, dependent upon prana. So bodhutasam prana arpitatvam. Tathapi katham pranasya chayavat ishvaram prati anugatihi. See, how do you say that the prana follows Ishvara Atma like a shadow follows the body? How does it establish how the prana follows Atma as a shadow? So, or as the other Tika says in line 33, Nunu prajnamatranam kriyasakna pranimatvam kudah. Prajna, how do you say that organs of perception are prananimatvam, kriyashaktimat? The organs of perception which are possessed of the power of knowledge, how do you say that they are not separate from prana which is possessed of power of action? So, jnana shaktimatvam, organs of perception possesses shakti, the power of knowledge. The prana possesses the power of action. So how do you say that knowledge is the same as action? Tasya prajñāvatva bhāvāt. Prana is jada. It is not a conscious entity. It does not cognize. How do you say that organs of perception are same as prana? Iti asankya prajñā shaktimat buddhya bhedat tasyapi prajñātmatvāditi. Prajna Shaktimat Buddhya, it is prana alone that becomes buddhi. It is vital air that alone becomes a buddhi. So in prana, in fact, also there is the potential of the knowledge. That is what the Upanishad says. So prajna Shaktimat Buddhi Abhedat. Prana is not different from buddhi which possesses the prajna Shakti, the power of knowledge. Tasyavi prajnatmatva. Therefore, prana also is of the nature of prajna. And so, therefore, next sentence is Seshah prana eva prajnatma iti Kaushitakina. Sayesha prana eva prajnatma. So these are those fellows say. They are the rishis. So what they say, they can't be dismissed, so we have to take it seriously. When Upanishad says something, then you have to deliberate upon that. So how? So, Sayesha prana eva prajnatma. The prana alone is the prajna, or the intellect, or the consciousness. Consciousness because it's upadi of consciousness. But prana is buddhi because buddhi is nothing but manifestation of prana according to them. Iti Kaushitakina. So therefore that is taken as the pramanam for showing how the prana is the fundamental principle. So basically, what is the fundamental principle in the universe? Consciousness, of course, the fundamental principle, but what is evident fundamental principle? Consciousness is not evident. So what is the first manifestation of consciousness? Prana, the vital energy. That's what the scientists also say, that what is urja or energy, this matter is nothing but the manifestation of energy, that is prana. So prana is the primary manifestation. Because from that so-called energy, the whole universe is the manifestation of the energy. Universe consists of Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. The universe's dynamism as well as the knowledge. Wisdom is there, dynamism is there. All of that ultimately reduces to one energy, is it not? So from that energy, knowledge also comes. From that energy, the action also comes. So that is prana. So the most fundamental principle. Next to consciousness, therefore prana is called the upadi of consciousness. The closest to consciousness is prana, or its vital energy. But that alone does everything for consciousness. That alone is the visible face, They call it visible face. So everybody is a visible face. A given party has a visible face. A given company has a visible face. That what they call the main product. So who is the visible face of Atma? Prana is a visible face. So according to what the Kaushitaki people say, prana is the fundamental principle. And that alone manifests as the Kriya Shakti and Iksha Shakti and Jnana Shakti. And Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, everything. Not only Jnana Kriya Shakti, but also as the Tamasi Shakti, as the inert matter. So all dynamism also comes from the energy, all inertia also comes from the energy, all knowledge also comes from that energy. Our brains are all product of that energy. Hands and legs and speech are product of energy. Body is also product of energy. So how Sattva, Rajas, Tamas? Normally we may say that the Jnana Shakti is the manifestation of Sattva. The Kriya Shakti is the manifestation of Rajas. And this matter is the manifestation of Tamas. But ultimately Tamas, Rajas and Sattva, all of them ultimately reduce to one energy, which is source of all the three. So in fact, we say that the Sattva is more fundamental than Rajas. But apparently Prana here is where everything resolves. The Tamas, Rajas and Sattva, everything resolves into Prana. So Prana is the agent of Ishvara, the visible face of Ishvara, the minister of Ishvara, one who does everything for Ishvara. And therefore he is mistaken to be Ishvara. And that's why a lot of confusion prevails about Ishvara. Whatever Prana does, Ishvara has done it. What Prana does not do, Ishvara has not done it. So Prana is confused as Ishvara. There were a lot of people who reject because prana does all kinds of things, looks like. Prana creates also, prana destroys also. Prana gives lots of food, also starves some people. So depending upon how you look upon expression of prana, there is looked upon expression of Ishvara, and there were lots of confusion about Ishvara. At the cosmic level, lot of confusion about Atma at the individual level. Because what is visible? Visible face is prana. So that way Anandagiri said that Chaya Vat Ishvara Anugaratvam. That just as the Chaya, the shadow, follows the body, so also prana follows Ishvara. Like the agent of Ishvara or follows Ishvara. Chaya has no independent existence. Prana also does not have an independent existence, So tasmin apo matarishva dadati. When tat is there, tasmin sati. When tasmin or Ishvara is there, matarishva prana. Then prana actually distributes, assigns all activities to all the elements only because of Ishvara. Therefore, see the Tika Pranasya Sarvadharatokte Uttaram Prati Hetuttvamaha. So why does Shruti say that prana is Sarvadhara? Prana is the Adhara or the sustaining of everything, support of everything, locus of everything, the basis of everything. What does Shruti says? Uttaram Prati Hetutvam, because Shruti wants to say something later. Shruti wants to say that prana is the self of all. For saying that, Shruti first said how prana sustains everything. So Ataha, Bhashyakara says, or his Anandagiri says, prana prayanayati asya arthamaha. So therefore, Shruti says prana prayanayati. The prana moves by prana. Everything is because of prana. So prana, what is it? Prana pranenayati. Prana pranam dadati. So one prana moves because of prana. The prana gives, so giver also is prana. What is given also is prana. The one to whom given is also prana. So pranaya dadati. Prana is the one to whom it is given. That also is prana. Pranam dadati. What is given also is prana. Prana dadati. One who gives also is prana. Prana pranam pranaya dadati. So sampradaya, fourth case. So prana gives prana to prana. Prana gives prana to prana. So giver also is prana. What is given also is prana. One who receives also is prana. Prana is the self of all. So that's what Upanishad wants to say, that prana is the self of all. For that it is said that prana is everything. Prana sustains everything. Prana is the basis of everything, locus of everything, the visible face of Ishvara, etc. So Bhashyakara says, Ataha evam asmin prane sarvam yathoktam samarpitam. Ataha, therefore, evam. So, because prana is sarvadhara, therefore, evam asmin prane sarvam samarpitam. So, yathoktam means what? So, namadi ashantam. The entire creation, beginning from nama, ending in asha. Naimittika. Then what is it? Bhuyaha, Uttarottara Bhuyaha. This universe is Sarvam Prana Samarpitam. All the universe is supported by, inserted into, fixed into prana. और फर्दर जाता है. Now that atah, I think prana pranayati iti asya arthamah atah iti. That second atah is what Anandagiri means, I think the first atah is what the Abhinava Narayana means. Second atah is what Anandagiri means in the 20th line, atah iti. So says Bhashyakara, atah sesha pranaha apartantraha pranena swashaktya eva yati na anyakritam gamanadikriyasu asya samarthyam ityarthah. Atha, therefore, sesha pranaha. Prana such as that which is sarvadhara, which is the basis of everything. Apartantraha. See, because the whole universe is dependent upon prana, prana itself is apartantra, swatantra, not dependent upon anything. Therefore, prana pranena yati. Prana moves because of prana. Means what? Swashaktya eva yati. Everything else moves because of prana. The legs move because of prana. The eyes see because of prana. The ears hear because of prana. But prana moves because of what? Because of prana. Everything else is paratantra, dependent on prana for the function that it performs. The atom also is dependent upon prana for its movement. To all the galaxies, everything. But what moves the prana? Prana moves the prana. Apartantra pranena swashaktya eva yati. So prana moves by its own power. Nanyakritam gamanadi kriyas asya samarthyam. The ability that prana has of movement is not anyakritam, not because of anything else. It is because of its own self. So prana pranena yati. Otherwise you can say, so padaha pranena yati. You can say the leg moves because of prana. Hand moves because of hasta, moves because of prana. Eyes see because of prana. But prana moves because of what? Prana itself. Ata means sarvaspadatvad yavat, because it is sarvaspada. It is aspada, the base of everything. Then says Anandagiri, prana pranena yati prano eva etani sarvani bhutani bhavati. Now that vakya is in the next passage on line 3, on the page 324. Prano eva etani sarvani bhavati. Up to that point. So Anandagiri says that in the passage number 1, where in the line number 2 said pranaha pranena yati. Then the whole passage, second passage, third passage, fourth passage, prano eva etani sarvani bhavati. Up to that point shows what? Prana is the self of all. All the description is to show how prana is the self of all. So therefore, prana pranayati ityadehe prano etani sarvani bhutani ityantasya tatparyatham sankshiptya kathayati. So what does all this description mean? Bhashyakara summarizes that, tatparyatham sarvamiti. So Bhashyakara says, sarvam kriyakaraka phalabhed jatam प्राणः एव न प्राणात् बहिर्भूतमस्ति इति प्रकरणार्थः. The whole section says what? Sarvam kriya karaka phalabheda jatam. So pranaha pranena yati. Pranaha pranam dadati. So kriya is what? Dadati. Yati. So moves, gives is kriya. It also is prana. Karaka pranena dadati. Because through prana it gives, so with hands or whatever you give, with legs you move, so prana inayati. So that means one moves, legs also is prana, that is the karaka, the karma. Prana dadati, it gives to prana. The fourth case, sampradana also is prana. So karta also is prana, karma also is prana, karanam also is prana, sampradana also is prana. All karakas are prana only. The kriya, yati, dadati, that kriya also is prana. So kriya, karaka, phala. As a result, the phala takes place. So movement takes place. Giving takes place. That's called phalam. That also is prana. So kriya, karaka, phala bheda jatam. The entire universe can also be looked upon as made up of the bheda. All this diversity consisting of the kriya, the action, and all the agents of action, and the results of action. That's what the universe is. That whole universe is prana eva. The whole universe is prana alone. Na pranat bhairbhutam asti. There is nothing outside the prana, nothing other than prana. Iti prakaranartha. That's what the Shruti wants to say in these passages. Then says Annagiri, Dhatuhu, so pranaha, pranena yati. That prana is what? Karta. Pranena karanam. Yati kriya. Pranaha, pranam, dadati. Pranaha, karta. Pranam, karma. Dadati, kriya. Pranaha, pranaya dadati. Pranaha, karta. Pranaya, sampradana. Dadati, kriya. So karta, karma, karana, sampradana, first, second, third, fourth, all these vibhaktis are karakas. So that anang is dhatuhu, deyasya, sampradanasya, prana abhinatvam prakadayati. So pranaha, pranam dadati, pranaya dadati, pranaha dadati. Prana gives, means prana is data, right? Giver. Pranam dadati. Gives prana, means what? Deyam. What is given also is prana. Pranaya dadati, the receiver also is prana, sampradanam. So dhatuhu, deyasya, sampradanasya cha, prana abhinatvam prakatayati. All these are not separate from prana. They are manifestation of prana. So prana becomes the giver. Prana becomes the receiver. Prana becomes the action of giving. Prana becomes the object of giving. Prana is the time, prana is the space, prana is everything. All karakas and everything is nothing but prana. Whole universe consisting of this is prana. So prana iti, the next Bhashyakara says, pranaha pranam dadati. So dhatuhu, data is pranaha. Deyam pranam. Sampradanam pranaya dadati. Siddhananda Bhashyakara yad dadati tat svatma bhutameva. So pranam dadati. This fellow gives money, he gives food, he gives clothes, says no, he is giving prana. So yad dadati, what the person gives, that svatma bhutameva. So prana is a giver. And when he gives food or anything, the swatma, that is nothing but his own self. So prana gives his own self to his own self. Prana gives his own self to his own self. Then further, यस्मै ददाति तदपि प्राणाय एव. Yasmin to whom? Which case? Fourth case. To whom? That is called sampradana. To whom he gives also is prana alone. Tadapi prana. Tadapi means what? Siddhanagiri. Tadapi diyaman uchyate. So what he gives also is prana. The one that he gives also is prana. So Anandagiri says all this is meant to say that prana alone is the self of all. Where the other Tikakar pranasya stuti upasatva kriyate ityartha. He says this is stuti of the prana because prana is upasya to be meditated upon, therefore looks upon this as stuti of prana. So svatma bhutam eva says svatma bhutam pranasya sarvatmatvat. Prana is given, and prana is what is given, therefore he gives his own self. Anandagiri said, Swasya sampradanasya cha pranabhinatvat prana eva iti yuktam iti uktam. Swasya sampa. So the giver and the one to whom give, both of them are not separate from prana, therefore it is said pranaya. To prana it is given. Therefore, ataha pitradhyakhyophi prana eva. So therefore, Upanishad said, prano hapita, prano mata, prano bhata bhrata, prana is father, prana is mother, prana is brother, prana swasa, prana is sister, prana acharya, prana is a teacher, prana brahmana, brahmana is brahmana. Therefore, Bhashyakara, pitradhyakhyophi. If every is prana, then pita, mata, bhrata, swasa, acharya, brahmana, all of these are naturally prana alone. Because prana is the ataha. Prana is sarvatmatvam. Because prana is the self of all, therefore prana alone is all of this. Or prana alone manifests all of this. It is. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.